Hello. Okay, I'm trying to set everything up here, guys. So here we go. Let me turn this down. I want to be able to see all you guys' chats. Okay. I see someone's there. Thank you, Dee. I wasn't able to see if I was getting the chats or not, so thanks for saying hi. I'm going to set this up where I can see it, hopefully. Okay. I'm using my iPad today because I think the camera is a little bit better angle, but we shall see here in a second. Thanks, Dee. I haven't been doing lives because with this new machine, I want to make sure that all of my information is clear, and sometimes when I do the lives, it cuts out. So I want to make sure that I'm doing everything correctly. Hi, Bonnie. All right, hold on one second. I want to make sure that I have everything out for you guys. Getting a text from someone. Okay, so I know the title of the foiling machines. Now I can't find my chats for you guys. Okay, here we go. Live chat. Live chat. Okay. Hello, Christian. Hello, Angela. Hi, Sandra. And, ooh, from Brazil. And Laura. Hi, guys. Thank you all for joining me this Sunday afternoon. My chats are coming to me on my phone, so it'll be just a minute here as I respond because they take a second. Okay, so most of you guys know that I was sent the Gemini Foil Press Machine by Crafter's Companion, and I have done a handful of videos on that in the last couple days. However, I have been getting so many emails from you guys on machines you already have. So off to the side here, I have my Mink machine heating up, and I have the Go Press and Foil machine heating up. So I'm really not going to be doing any demonstration with the Gemini Foil Press machine today. I'm going to instead be focusing on these other two foiling machines that so many of you already own, or are asking what are the differences. If I have a Mink or I have a Go Press and Foil, what do I need the Gemini Foil Press for? So that is going to be the focus of today's video for you guys. Okay, so many questions, and the reason I decided to do it live is so that you guys could ask me the questions live, and I would be able to answer them for you, hopefully. All right, so first thing I wanted to show you was some of the cards that I have put together with the Gemini Foil Press. So you guys see here that these are some of the leftover pieces that I haven't put into cards yet from the Gemini Foil Press, which is very similar to the Go Press machine. Okay, so what I did yesterday was I took some of these pieces, and I want to show you guys these pieces because these were actually embossed with the Crafter's Companion folder, but I had tried to foil them and they didn't come out, and I thought, well, I'm not going to throw these away, so I actually reused these, and I'll show you some of the cards I made. I never throw anything away. I've been a hoarder since I was a little kid. I don't mean like dangerous hoarder. I mean when it comes to crafting. I am trying to de-stash a lot of things I'm not using, but these kinds of things, I keep them and turn them into cards, even the ones that aren't perfect. Okay, so I just wanted to show you, I still have plenty of leftovers here to make a card. This is the one I did yesterday where I foiled the die cut. Thank you, Angela. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Hi, Tracy. Okay, so I'm going to move this stuff out of the way here. These are the cards that I put together last night after making those videos. I have to remember the camera's over here and not down here because that's where it is on my other thing. Bonnie, I make these cards late at night when my kids are sleeping and not bothering me. Okay. I agree, Christian. I think the Gemini is a little easier to use, but again, different strokes for different folks. Okay, so here's one with one of those foiled embossing backgrounds. This embossing background I actually made with the Go Press and Foil machine. It's a Anna Griffin folder with little trees on it. Cuttlebug folder. See? And I had done the green foil, and it wasn't perfectly foiled, so this white piece is actually foiled on the back side, and the back side didn't look so good, so I flipped it over. So I'm using the foiled piece, the not so good foiled piece, mounted it on some paper. These are the Crafter's Companion trees, and I just put some Nuvo drops to make it look like snow on there. So I think that one came out pretty good. Here's one of those other mistake backgrounds where the back side is foiled, and I didn't like the way that it looked. I took some of this Spectrum Noir metallic wax, which is basically gilding paste in green, and used my finger and smeared it all over. This is the Season's Greeting, which is an Anna Griffin hot foil die, and I just stuck that on there. And then this is red Nuvo drops, glitter Nuvo drops. Here's another one, and again, it's not perfectly foiled, but I'm going to be sending these cards out to my friends and family, and honestly, they're not going to pick it apart. They, I think, will appreciate more that I sent them a handmade card than a store-bought card. They know that I make these cards, so yeah, I know it's not perfectly foiled. That's okay. I'm okay with it, and if the person that receives it doesn't like it, then they won't get another card from me. Hi, Nancy. And this was that foiled background. This was that Spellbinders foiled background. Here's another one. And this is the red. The red, the turquoise, and the green all come together in this Spectrum Noir metallic wax or gilding paste. This one came out pretty cool. This is the tree die that I foiled, but I had shown it cut out and foiled. And I just put red, green, gold, and silver Nuvo drops on that. All right, this one I'm probably most proud of. These are the mistakes from me trying to foil this snowflake die. This is a Crafter's Companion snowflake die, and what I had done was tried to foil the back side. And these were the pieces that came out okay. Now, any of the spots where I didn't get it foiled all the way, I just put some Nuvo drops on the ends there and covered it up with the glitter and layered it. And I think this one came out really cool. I'm very proud of this one. And these are all scraps that normally would have been thrown away. And I thought, all right, let me find a way to use these up. There's another one of that tree foiled. Here's one. I wanted to show you guys this one on purpose. I had decided to foil it after I layered it, and it over foiled it. It just was too many layers. So keep that in mind. And then this is that little peacock feather. I just colored it with some alcohol markers and glued it down. And these are some birthday cards. I showed these before. This is using the waste that we cut out yesterday. I really like this one. This has that holographic foil on it. And then inside it has that congratulations die, which, yes, I know it's glued on crooked. I'm going to take that off and fix it. And then here's another piece. I don't have anything on it yet. So those are the ones that I've made with the Gemini Junior foil press machine, but you could replicate a lot of those with the Go Press and Foil. So if you have any questions, this is my email, nancystamps15@gmail.com. I've gotten a ton of email, and I do try to respond to everybody, and I try to remember the questions so that I can do them in these videos. All right, so the first machine I want to talk about is the Mink. So there's a full-size Mink, there's a mini Mink. Basically how the Mink works, and you can hear it clicking. It is a, in layman's term, glorified laminator, okay? It is, this one is the mini, so it's only 6 inches wide, and inside the clicking that you hear there are rollers on the top and rollers on the bottom. So these rollers are moving and heating up at the same time. So what they're doing is they're pushing the paper through, they are heating the paper from top and bottom, and they are putting pressure on it. So what a laminator does, most laminators only have rollers on the top or the bottom, and they usually just do heat. They don't do a whole lot of pressure. What this is doing is pressure and heat at the same time. So how this works is it uses a variety of foils. Now, I want to show you guys, I am a foil junkie. My name is Nancy. I'm addicted to foiling. I have Gemini Foil. Yes, I do like these foils. However, they're very pretty and sparkly. I hoard these foils, and the reason I hoard them is because to me they are a little expensive. Yes, they're very pretty, but these are I want to say $6, $7, $8. I do hoard them because I feel like they're very pretty and fancy, and I only want to use them on my pretty fancy cards, so I hoard them. Okay. I also have, you can find Mink foil. This was discounted at Tuesday morning. This came with my Mink machine. So these are the Anna Griffin foil and glitter packs that came with the machine. More Gina K fancy foil. Okay. These are my scraps. Okay, these are toner sheets, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. And then, of course, you guys probably can relate. I have a whole bunch of deco foil rolls. And if I have not mentioned this before, you want to be careful when you're buying these deco foil rolls because they are sold two ways, I've found. Let me see if I can show you. And there's also the Mink version of deco foil, but it's all the same company. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about here, so you don't make the same mistake I made. Okay. When you buy deco foil normally, it says here there are 5 sheets. And you can see this is probably a few years old, but this is $6. I don't know where the pricing is now on them. But there are 5 sheets in here, and they are 6 inches by 12 inches. Okay? Sometimes they get sneaky, and it says 1 sheet. So be very careful of that. 6 inches by 12 inches, 1 sheet. And you can see this was originally $3.99, so you think, oh, there's a good deal. They had it on sale for $2.39, but it was only 1 sheet. The Mink foil, if you get this, says 4 pieces. So watch your quantity. My most favorite foil is, I'm sure you guys know what I'm going to say. Bonnie, what am I going to say? There are 23 colors of Creative Vision Stamps foil. Okay, I have all 23 of them. Now, I have always loved foiling, as you guys can see there, but I really, in the last year, have used Creative Vision Stamps foil, and I'll tell you why. Creative Vision Stamps foil is a thicker quality foil. It comes in a large roll, and let me show you the difference. 25 feet. 25 feet. So Dee says, what's the price? Price is around $12. Dee, just depending. I don't think the specialty foils are any more. Yeah, the specialty foils are $14. The regular foils are $12. You can go on creativevisionstamps.com. I met Laura through a craft show. I basically stalked her because I love her foiling and her stamps. But 25 feet of foil, this is going to last you forever. Yes, I know it's a little bit more expensive at $12 a roll. I will guarantee you, you're not going to go through this whole roll. Not at 25 feet of foil. That is, let's see, how much more are we getting here? We're getting 12 inches times 5, so you're getting 5 feet. So you're getting 5 feet, right? 25 feet. 5 times more foil, guys. So I love this foil. This is the foil I always go to, honestly. And it comes in 23 different colors. Somewhere I have a color chart I can show you when I find it, because I'm disorganized. But yes, there are 23 different colors, creativevisionstamps.com. I used to just buy a couple at a time, 2 at a time, and then you get your collection built up very, very quickly. She has all different colors of the rainbow, plus you get holographic. Here's some holographic. Here's some actual rainbow foil. This one is called New Year's Eve, and it has little specks in it. So, and I know Laura is always trying to add more colors, but there is 23. If you can't find what you want on here, there is even black. All right, so just to tell you guys about that. All of those foils, so Deco Foil, Anna Griffin Foil, Gina K Foil, Brutus Monroe Foil, who else do we got? Heidi Swapp Foil. They're all designed to work in the Minc machine. Now, what do you foil with this? So a couple of things you can foil. Again, this is my Anna Griffin stash here. This came with the Anna Griffin. These are pre-printed toner foils. Toner foils, what that means is, here's some from Heidi Swapp, and I'm going to demonstrate these guys for you, is this is printed on high quality paper with high quality toner. You can replicate this by printing from your laser printer at home if you have one. I have one. I bought one cheap at Back to School. It's a Brother laser printer. And there's 2 important things in order to get very good quality printing. Number 1 is your printer, and number 2 is your paper. So you do not want to use low quality paper. And anything we do in crafting, in stamping, in coloring, in foiling as well, you do not want to buy the cheap paper. I don't buy cheap paper anymore. I give it to my kids. All the paper that I buy is good quality paper, because it's not worth getting frustrated and throwing your project away because of the quality of paper you're using. Not all paper is the same. So notice how very black this is. There's no white spots. This is a toner printed paper. With all of those foils, what happens is these foils do not have an adhesive in them. When you foil, this toner gets hot, it turns to adhesive or gets sticky. When you run it through the machine, the foil then releases from its release paper and it sticks to those toner areas. So let me show you guys that real quick. So you always want to cut this to right around the same size as your image. You don't want any excess. Tip number 2 is to make sure that your area is dust free. A lot of you guys have told me, I'm not getting good coverage, it's very spotty, what can I do? So you notice my Minc machine is on 3. That's usually a setting I always use it on. I have a soft brush. I'm going to very gently dust off my area that I want foiled. Okay, and I have a carrier sheet here. These are from Minc. They're just little plastic sheets. You could use, I think, parchment paper as well. I'm going to dust all of this off because, yes, dust will make a difference. Those little tiny particles will get into your foiling. And I'm also dusting off the back side of my foil. If you want a good clean foil, foiling effect, you have to make sure your foil is clean. Then we're going to put the toner, or sorry, the foiling sheets on top of the toner sheets. And we're going to run that through our machine. I'm running the folded side in through the machine there. Okay. Now what the machine is doing, it is taking the heat, it is melting the toner, making it adhesive. Why are we not focusing here? Okay. And it's going to cause that foil to adhere to the toner. Now, again, for toner sheets, Gina K makes them, Creative Vision Stamps makes them. These are all high quality printed toner sheets. Now, you asked about price point. These are inexpensive. These are from Creative Vision Stamps. And you can see $5 a pack here, and you get a whole bunch of tags. You got backgrounds. She's got all kinds of seasons. So high quality toner. You don't have to print these yourself. They are already pre-printed and you can just buy them and use them. So just showing you guys some of the ones that Leah and I did. And Leah just did a video on this card. Here's her little snowman with the toner background. All right, here's a couple tags that I did. Okay, and these are already pre-printed. All I did was cut out my foil in different colors and put it on there. Very, very easy to do foiling. Now, there's no dimension. These are flat. There's no letterpress or embossing effect. If you're looking for a letterpress or embossing effect with your foiling, that's the Go Press and Foil machine or the Gemini Foil Press machine. Okay? So, tip number 2, or is this tip number 3? Tip number 1 is to use good quality paper and toner. Tip number 2 is to dust everything off. Tip number 3, let it cool. If you take this right out of the machine and rip the foil off of the paper, you are not going to have a good result because you did not give the foil enough time to cure. That foil has to stick to the toner area and cool down before you can rip it off. If you immediately try to rip it off, that foil is not going to adhere. So let's see how good we did here. Perfectly foiled. I see one bare spot here and it probably was dust. But I would say that is pretty good. And up here because I didn't have the foil lined up. Pretty good, right? So you guys want to see that again? Let's do some of these Anna Griffin ones. And we're going to use our Anna Griffin foil. You see this foil is a little flimsy. I'm going to show you Creative Vision Stamps foil and how much better it is. So again, I'm going to put my pre-printed die cut. This is again from the Anna Griffin box when I originally got my Mink machine. I'm going to dust that off. I'm going to dust the back side of the foil off. Oops. Cover the whole image. Okay. And run that through folded side in first. And then while that's going through, I'm going to cut a piece of the I'm going to give that a second to cool down. And while we reveal that, this is called Pretty Penny from Creative Vision Stamps. This is one of their foilable tags. Notice how much thicker this foil is. I know it's hard to see on camera, but this foil is definitely more flimsy than this foil. That makes it easier to cut. It makes it easier to work with. It also makes it easier to keep safe when you are storing it. It comes in these bags. You want to keep your foils from getting dinged up, banged up, nicked, because what happens is, as that happens, the foil starts to flake and transfer off. As some of you guys have said, my foil flakes off. It's your quality of foil. You want a good quality foil. Okay, so I'm going to remove this. Bonnie, there is no snow today. It actually looks pretty nice out, but I have not been outside. We did have a little flurries yesterday. Okay, so this is one of the Creative Vision Stamps foils and tags. All right, and let's reveal the Anna Griffin one. Very nicely foiled. There's not a miss spot on there. Okay, so that's the Anna Griffin foil and the Anna Griffin toner printed designs. Now, you can use this same foil on the sticky transfer rub-ons. You can use this same foil on double adhesive tape. You can use this same foil. I have shown the stencil method where you run a stencil through with some Mod Podge or some texture paste and then run it through. There's another video. I'll link to that if you want to know all about Mink foiling. I have tons of videos on that. But and in order to do die cuts, I'll show you guys that as well. So you can see this is a nice golden bronze color. There is always something to be thankful for. And I gotta say, I am thankful for you guys watching me and giving me questions and ideas to explain. Okay, I'm really not going to do too much more with the Mink machine because I think you guys get the gist of the idea and the foils. What I wanted to focus on was the difference. Now, die cuts are a different story. If you guys want to do die cuts, you have to use what's called these toner sheets. Now, toner sheets are just full black sheets of toner. All right, let me grab a die here to cut out for you guys. So I'm going to cut out, this is an Anna Griffin die. You can make a full black toner sheet if you have access to a laser copier or laser printer. You basically just copy a big black block or print a big black block and it will cut that out for you. Now I am going to run this through my Gemini Junior since it's right here. You can use any die cutting machine for these Anna Griffin dies. This is how you would foil die cuts, not the dies. You cannot run dies through the Mink machine. That's a no-no. Do not do that. Getting it out of the, so you can see it cut beautifully, right? So now we have this black toner die cut. I'm going to use a piece of this New Year's Eve holographic foil from Creative Vision Stamps. It's so sparkly and pretty. And we want to cut it about the same size as our image. You don't want to use excess foil. You want it around the same size. Using too much foil can cause bubbling and it will cause your image not to foil correctly. So any foiling you do, you want to try to get the foil to be around the same size as your foiled image. So same thing with the other machines. You want to cut that extra foil off. Same thing, we have our carrier sheet. We are going to brush off our image. And there are, you know, you have embossing powders on your desk, you have glitter on your desk, you have dust on your desk, some of you have cat hair on your desk. And again, we want the matte side, not the shiny side. The matte side is where it's going to stick. And you want to make sure that's all laid out flat. You don't want any bubbles or wrinkles in there. So why do you buy foil if you can dye, if we can foil dies? Foil press. Okay, Bonnie, good question. So you can't foil the dies with this, but you can foil your die cuts. I'm going to show you on the Go Press what the difference is. Because you cannot run this die this die through here and foil anything. That's not going to work. This will jam up your machine and definitely break your machine. So you cannot run this physical die through the machine. This is why I wanted to do this live, so that I could see you guys' questions. All right, I'm now going to turn the Minc off and move my Minc foiling stuff to the side. Does anybody have any questions on what we did with the Minc, or anything else you want me to demonstrate with the Minc? Think of it, again, as a glorified laminator used for paper, used for toner. You can use it in your stencils. There's another video on that. All right, I know the laminator. I know with the laminators, but what you use to make it stick. The toner automatically makes this stick. So here's your foil die cut. There, I think there was a tiny little miss right here. Not a big deal. I'm trying to see what you're saying here. I know with the laminators, but what do you use to make it stick? Oh, you mean in the Go Press foil? Is that what you're asking me, Dee? You know with the laminators, but what do you use to make it stick? What? How does the foil stick in the Minc machine? The way the foil sticks with the Minc is with the toner. The toner makes it stick. I'm not understanding the question. Why do we boil foil press? We could foil dies with our laminators. I know with the laminators, what do you use to make it stick? Can you ask the question a different way, Dee? I'm confused as to what you're asking me there. Unless I'm missing the questions. Oh, how would you use the negative foil? Is that what you're asking me, Dee? All right, so the negative foil. There's a couple ways you can use this negative foil. This foil will stick to tape. It will also stick to those toner sheets. So again, we have this extra piece of toner. These toner sheets. It's not just black paper. It's actual toner sheets. And in fact, Deco Foil sells it. Let me show you what it looks like. Because I know not everybody has a laser printer. Let me find it. Hold on. Okay. So Deco Foil sells these sheets. And I know Brutus Monroe carries these. I'm sorry, Dee, I didn't see that. So Deco Foil sells these full-size toner sheets. And what you would do, and like I said, Brutus Monroe carries these, is, again, it's fully printed toner sheets. And once you do your die cut and you foiled it, now you say, what do I do with this excess foil, right? I've already foiled my die cut. Now what do I do with this? It's so pretty, I don't want to throw it away. You can run this through again on top of the toner sheets, and you can use that excess. What I've seen a lot of people do with their leftover foil sheets, you can also use double adhesive tape. Bonnie says you can go to Office Max and they'll print up some for you. Is use double adhesive tape. But the coolest idea I saw was at a make and take where somebody was actually taking the extra foil pieces and using tape and foiling the inside of their envelopes. So they actually took this extra piece, cut it down, and they kind of like slid it through and made like an envelope liner with it, which I thought was pretty genius, pretty cool. You'd have to cut it down to fit. But this foil will stick. This foil will stick to any kind of adhesive, double-sided tape. It will stick to transfer tape. There's or sorry, not transfer tape, what's that stuff called? Deco, I can't speak. Texture paste. You can run this through a stencil, let it dry, and then once it's dried, you can get it to stick. Let me show you an example. So the background of this card is this texture paste run through a butterfly stencil, let to dry, and then run through the machine with foil on top. And that's Creative Vision Stamps. I think it's Crystal Ballroom foil. So this kind of foil, anything that's sticky, it will release and stick to it. All right. Hello, Anne-Marie. I am so glad you're here because I want to answer your questions. Anne-Marie has been so helpful to me. Anne-Marie has asked me a couple questions and really made me think outside the box, and I appreciate that, Anne-Marie. Yes, Deco Foil has a paste. It's basically the same thing as the texture paste, transparent paste. So if you don't have the Deco Foil paste, you can use the Ranger paste, which I've showed in another video. Okay, I'm going to put the Mink aside, and we're going to see if, oh, you know what? I did want to show one extra thing. Let me turn this back on. Turn this on here. I wanted to show one more very important thing. I'm sorry, I'm talking to Leah. Okay, you guys want to know if the hot foil foils will work in the Mink, so I wanted to demonstrate that quick. Deco Foil has a paste. Yes, Anne-Marie. Leah here. All right, so this is another Anna Griffin pre-printed toner design, and I'm going to use the Anna Griffin Creative Couture's foil, or the Go Press and foil, and we're going to see if this works through the Mink. Because the difference is this foil already has adhesive built into it. So we'll see how this works. Again, dusting off the area, dusting off the foil. Let's see if this works. This is not using Deco Foil or Mink Foil or Creative Vision Stamps foil. This is using hot foil. Hot foil is different from heat activated foil. You have Glimmer Foil, you have Crafter's Companion Foil, you have ToDo Foil, you have Creative Couture's Foil. I'm sorry, I keep saying that. It's Couture Creations foil, Go Press foil. Now, this foil already has adhesive in it, which means it doesn't need very much to stick. So let me show you what happens if you use this foil on your toner sheets or use it through your Mink. You get overfoiling. Can you guys see that? Now maybe I could turn the heat down. Let's go to a 1. And it's going to cool down. It's going to blink until it's ready. That means it's still too hot. Yes, it worked, but can you see all that extra foiling on there? That's called overfoiling. Because it already has adhesive in the foil, anything that the foil touches, it's going to stick. It's called overfoiling because the heat is too high. I'm going to try another one of those. Do a little bit different color here. Oops, I didn't cut that big enough. Anne-Marie, you told me to go to Scrapbook Made Simple video number 201, which I did do today. And I watched the video that they made on the Go Press and Foil machine, and you are right. She did so many different things with it. And what I thought I was doing wrong with my Big Kick machine was actually what her machine was doing, so I thank you for that. I also was shopping around on her website, and I noticed that she has the Couture Creations foil, the hot foil, for very inexpensive. It was less than $3 for her foils. All right, my foil's a little short there, but we'll be okay. Okay, so once this is done blinking, we'll be able to run that through. All right, I'm going to turn my Go Press and Foil on and let it heat up. So the red light's blinking. We're going to get that to go to green. I'm actually also going to put in, you guys asked about the Anna Griffin die, so I'm going to put this in, and we're going to foil both sides, the top side and the bottom side. Right, one is activated by the toner, one is activated by heat, because the deco foils do not have adhesive in them, and they don't have adhesive in the deco foil, the Mink foils, the Creative Vision Stamps foils. They just have the foil. These hot foils have adhesive built into them, so when they get activated, it's not actually the heat that's activating them, it's the toner that's getting activated. The toner melts and it becomes the adhesive. So one has, and then I'm gonna guess that the multi-surface foil from the Gemini is probably a different kind of heat activated adhesive, which is why it works on multi-purposes like fabric and so on. All right, so we're just waiting for this bad boy to cool down. While that's cooling down, I have the Anna Griffin die on here heating up, and you corrected me and telling me, yes, you can use this to run through the machine to die cut. They sell extra covers on these. So I do appreciate that, and I'm just going to grab a piece of paper to make my shim. I just have a piece of heavy cardstock. I'm just going to fold that in half and make that into our shim. So we're ready to go with that. And we will do some of the same experiments with the Go Press and Foil machine. I didn't want to demonstrate the Gemini foil press because I didn't want to give anybody any bad ideas about the machine, and I know a lot of you asked me questions because you already own the Go Press and Foil on using that versus the Gemini, so that's what I wanted to try to answer. Okay, more questions here. Deco foil will not work, Christian. We're going to show that next. The only foils that will work in your hot foiling machines, which by hot foiling machines, I mean the next demonstration is going to be with the Go Press and Foil, the Gemini Foil Press, the Spellbinders Glimmer machine, and the ToDo machine. You have to use their foils. Their foils have heat in them, and so their foils look like this. This is Go Press and Foil, also known as Couture Creations, which you can buy a lot of these colors on the Scrapbook Made Simple website. And like I said, I think they were under $3 a roll. All of the rolls look like they come with 15 feet for all of these companies. So you have that. You have the Glimmer, which is the Spellbinders hot foiling. You have ToDo hot foiling. And, of course, our newest baby, the Gemini Foil Press. These are all specifically made for hot foiling. So you can only use these foil companies in with the Go Press and Foil machine, or the Gemini foiling machine, or the Spellbinders foiling machine, or the ToDo foiling machine. All right, this is taking a while to cool down. I'm just going to move it to the side. When it's cooled down, we will check that bad boy out. I'm going to bring in the Go Press and Foil, and I'm also going to bring up my Big Kick, which is the ancient version of the Big Shot, but still works just as good. I cannot part with this guy. My dad bought it for me when I just started crafting, so it's got sentimental reason to me. Plus, I'm a hoarder, which I've already told you guys. Okay, so Go Press and Foil is now turned green. We have our Anna Griffin die in there. We are going to use the Go Press and Foil Couture Creations foil. Yes, I'm waiting, Anne. I have the multi-purpose, but I am pretty much out of the paper foil, and I am waiting. They do heat up very quickly because it's a lower temperature. This is pretty odd-looking foil. Let's see if this works. All right, now our machine is blinking red saying, hey, I'm not hot anymore. You let me cool down. Right here. Okay. Now, what I said I liked about the Gemini machine was that it has a timer and it has heat settings on it. And I had some of you guys point out, it's too hard, it's too fancy to learn all that. I kind of agree with you there. You do have to memorize what to use. What this does is it turns, it's red and green. Either red, it's not ready, green, it's ready. That's it. It's very simple. And from what I understand, this will work through all of your die cutting machines. So it's not just the Cuttlebug, the Big Shot. It will work through all of your major die cutting machines. So what I have here is the die is heated up. I'm going to put the foil on. I know it's hard to see, but this is kind of a matte foil. So it's shiny on one side and matte on the other side. We're going to put it shiny side down. Okay, I should cut off that extra foil there. We're going to put our piece of cardstock, and like I mentioned in the first video, you want to use good paper. You don't want to use cheap paper. Okay, oops, and then we want our shim. Let's fix that. And I'm going to do this on both sides, on the reverse side as well. This is our shim, which is just a piece of paper I've cut in half. Now, because of viewage, I'm going to move this over. Bring my little Big Kick in. And we're going to slide that through. Now, see how mine kind of like wobbles there? I saw Stacy's machine doing the same thing, so I thought I was doing something wrong, but apparently I wasn't. Anne Marie is answering, whether Glimmer, Go Press, or Gemini Foil Press, all machine requires to get, yes, to learn to, yeah, they all have a learning curve. You got to use them. The Gemini machine is not to be used in manual die cutters. They have been very specific about that. The Go Press machine and the Glimmer machine you can use through your die cutting system. The ToDo machine, I'm really not going to talk about that too much because that's its own system. All right, so let's see how this worked. I'm going to take my shim off. Let's see if it foiled. There it is, very beautifully foiled. Now that's the die cut side. So any of your dies that you own, that's the die cutting side. The Gemini Foil Press will do the same thing. The only difference is you run it through the Gemini machine. So that's the die cut. That would be the cutting side. So now I'm going to flip this guy over. And we're going to do the back side of the die. So let me show you guys here. I wish I could move my camera up more so I could have a better angle, but I think you guys can see more detail this way too. So now I flip the die over, and I think I want to use a metal shim on this because I don't want the cutting side on my little rubber mat. So I'm just going to put a little metal shim under there. Just because I don't want that cutting side on my little rubber mat. I don't want my rubber mat to get cut into. So we're now doing the back side of the die. So again, we're going to give that a second to heat up. I'm going to cut another piece of foil. Let's try the glimmer foil. See how that works. This is the Spellbinders foil. And says, will work. Yes, it will work with the electric Big Shot. No problem. With the Go Press, yes. The only machine that you should not be using, from what I understand, is the Gemini Foil Press. You must use it with the Gemini or the Gemini Junior. It is not recommended to be used with any other die cutting machine. The Go Press and Foil you can use with any machine. Yes, Anne-Marie says you might have to do 2 passes. I agree. So we're just waiting for this to turn green, which it just did. And again, we're doing the back side of the foil. I'm going to do shiny side down. And my piece of cardstock. And again, I'm using Nina Solar White cardstock. Always want to use a good quality cardstock. And then I'm going to put my shim in there. And I'm going to close that and just give that a second to warm up. And I'm actually going to also cut a piece of deco foil so you guys can see what the deco foil will do. Correct. The Go Press will not fit with the Gemini. The platform is too thick. And I am so glad you're here. Anne is going to be my moderator. All right, so I'm going to take this guy now and run it through our Big Shot, Big Kick. Slowly running it through. And then back again. The Gemini Hot Foil Press Machine, Bonnie, is not recommended to be used through any other die cutting machine. So that little wiggling, I'm going to say, that it's doing is normal. It's perfectly fine. It's not affecting anything. And we use the back side of the die, and we use the, what do we use? Glimmer foil, right? Gold glimmer foil. That's from Spellbinders. All right, so it's not perfectly foiled there, and I'm just going to say that I probably did not heat it long enough and also not enough pressure. So it is going to take some time to learn this. This foil I know takes a hotter temperature. I'm going to do it again, but I want to show you how good the Gemini foil is. The Gemini foil does heat up much quicker. So this is the Gemini foil, which came with the Gemini Foil Press. Anne-Marie says, yes, put another shim in there. So, yes, we're going to put an extra shim in there. Okay, so this is using the Gemini foil. And I'm going to put my shim down, and I'm going to put an extra piece of paper in there. So extra shim, and we're going to let that heat up. Make sure that gets nice and hot. And then we'll do something with Decafoil. Oh, okay. The Mink is finally cooled down to a 1 and is no longer blinking. So we're going to run through. We wanted to do a lower heat setting. This is that Anagriffin toner print and the Anagriffin foil. And I'm just going to run it through the Mink, and it is on 1, and it's not blinking anymore. So we're going to see if the hot foil works in the Mink. Anne-Marie says she struggled with the Go Press in the beginning and now more comfortable with it. You're right, Anne-Marie. It just takes some time to practice with it, and I think I gave up on it too soon. And watching that video you recommended really kind of gave me some more confidence. The video, again, if you guys want to go look at it, is from Scrapbooking Made Simple. It's video number 201, and it's specifically on the Go Press and Foil machine. Some of the other things she does with it is letter pressing with ink. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just focusing on the foiling part. Okay, so that did foil. In a pinch, you could use hot foil in the Mink machine. You could use hot foil in the Mink machine in a pinch. And that's on a low setting, 1 low setting. So in a pinch, you could use hot foil in your Mink machine. Okay, but put it on a very low setting. I'm going to turn that guy off so it cools down. Okay, let's take this guy out. I think he's heated up long enough. And we got an extra shim in there. Oh yeah, I can feel that pressure now. Very slowly go through here. And like I said, Scrapbooking Made Simple had a lot of hot foil dies, and they had a lot of the hot foil, very reasonable. I want to say it was $3 for a roll of the hot foil. Now that hot foil is not as fast at heating up as the Gemini foil. The Gemini foil, that stuff heats up pretty quickly. Very low setting on the Gemini foil. Okay, so this is using that Gemini foil, and you know what? I think I had too many shims that time. So it takes a little practice with that. So we had too little, too much. We need to find a happy medium. Plus, I changed foils. I used the Glimmer foil the first time, which works on a hotter temperature, and I used the Gemini foil, which works on a lower temperature. So I think I had too much heat and too much pressure. I'm going to switch back to this Glimmer foil because I think we'll have a better result with that, with the extra shim. Let me use that same gold Glimmer foil. So the biggest question is, what is the difference between the Mink and the Go Press foil or the Gemini foil press? The Mink is designed to heat up paper, toner objects. This turns all of your dies. This is a regular Anagriffin cutting die. It turns all of your dies into hot stamps. So it's not designed to be used as a paper foiling system, but making your dies into hot stamps. So yes, they both do foiling, but they do different types of foiling. The biggest difference between the Go Press foil and the Gemini is that the Go Press foil will work through your average everyday die cutting machines. The Gemini foil press is designed to work with the Gemini Junior. Go Press and Foil machine, Bonnie, is made by Couture Creations. You can find it on sale at a lot of online retailers. I know Scrapbooking Made Simple does have it. I don't know the price off the top of the head. I got mine off of HSN last year. I'm going to give this a second to heat up. I wanted to demonstrate to you guys the hot foil stamps and what the difference are. So hot foil stamps are dies that do not cut. So these are the Anna Griffin ones, which I did see on Scrapbook Made Simple if you can't find them on HSN. So this one says Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Peace on Earth, Season's Greetings. And then these are the ones I got from Crafter's Companion and also from Spellbinders. This is a Spellbinders one, but these do not cut. They are specifically made to hot foil or to stamp with the foiling system. And you can ink these and run them through the machine if you wanted to do a letterpress design. And again, you can also use your regular dies. And yesterday's video, I showed how to foil the waste, the excess foil. And also, it does work with the ToDo dies. You cannot run the ToDo dies through the Gemini foil press. All right, that is still heating up. I'm giving a little extra time because I know this foil takes a little bit extra time to heat up. Yes, the Gemini foil press will work with the regular size Gemini, but you have to buy an adapter plate. And the reason for that is the Gemini Junior, I'll show you guys here actually physically. Let me run this through. The Gemini Junior is a smaller opening. I guess I'm going to have to get the foil press out and show you guys side by side. The full-size Gemini has 3 sensors, and if you do not trigger all 3 sensors, that's why it will not run through the machine. There is 3 versions, Vay, of the Go Press and Foil. There's a US version, a UK version, and a European version of the foil press. I don't know about the Go Press and Foil. I can't answer that, Vay. All right. Hopefully this is the 3rd time's the charm here. This is using the Glimmer foil, which is from Spellbinders. We're getting there. A little better. I think I needed a little bit more shim there in the middle. But you guys get the idea. So this was not enough shim, not enough heat. This was too much shim, too much heat. And this one was, we're getting there. So it does, just like the other machine, it takes a little time. But, you know, you get the idea that you can use your regular dies to foil. So I want to show you guys a stamp foil die, stamp foil die. Okay, so here's one that says Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I think this is a ToDo one. I'm not 100% on that. And in ToDo spirit, we're going to use ToDo foil. Hello, Anne from the Netherlands. Anne Marie says the Go Press in the US and European model. It does, okay, so it does come, the Go Press, this machine does come in a European model. And like I said, I know the foil press does. Okay, so we have our foil down. We're gonna put our piece of, and this is a regular hot foil stamp die. It is not a cutting die. And we're going to put, I think I'm gonna continue to use this shim. I don't know if we need this one. We'll just try my regular shim that I was using. Give that a second. This is using ToDo foil this time. ToDo, which is, I believe, a British company. I am no longer using my ToDo. It is way too big and cumbersome. I have put the ToDo back in the box and will be listing it for sale. Someone's going to ask if Deco Foil is going to work in the Go Press, so we're going to try that too. All right, let's run this guy through here. Slow and steady wins the race. Again, the shimming is normal. I really thought I was doing something wrong, Anne, until I watched that video and saw that, so thanks again for that. The secret is to have the right shim for your die, for your paper, and for your die cutting machine that you're using. So I think might need one more shim. We'll see here in a second. And this machine will give you not just the foiling, but it will give you that embossed letterpress effect, which is what a lot of people like about this machine. That's what's difference between this and the Minc. You could go to the Minc and you could print this out. You could definitely print this out on the Minc, on the laser printer, and make a laser printed and run this through the Minc, and it would do the exact same thing. Absolutely, yes. But the difference from this is that this is turning that hot foil die. Can you see that, how it's embossed? So it looks a little more fancy, a little more professional, because that is now, you can feel the difference with the foiling. Plus, you guys, we all have dies. We all have a million dies in our drawers. So any of those dies that you have become a foil stamp. Okay. Bonnie's asking a question. Which one came out first in the hot foil machine? I think the ToDo and the Go Press and Foil machine came out. This has been out for over a year now. The Gemini foil press just came out. So I want to show you guys the physical size difference here, because a lot of you are asking. Okay, so let me show you guys the physical size difference here. Let me move this guy over. And I wanted to demonstrate this to you guys, but I don't want anybody breaking their machine or voiding their warranty, which is why I can't demonstrate it to you guys, because Crafter's Companion has asked me not to. Okay, so this is the Go Press and Foil platform, right? It is very thin, which is why it fits through the opening of the Gemini and the Gemini Junior. Okay, so here is the opening of the Gemini. You can see it's a very thin opening, but also it's not that wide of an opening. Okay, let me get into camera here. Frame. All right, so this is the Gemini Junior. In order for the Gemini to cut, I don't know if you guys can see, but there are two little legs in there. Those are the sensors. So once those little legs, can you see those, get triggered, that's when the Gemini starts to cut, okay? So when you put this guy in here, he fits in there perfectly, the width and the length, and it's not on right now, by the way, the width and the length, and it gets triggered and it will go through the rollers. The larger Gemini has a much wider opening, okay? So when this goes through, he only triggers 2 sensors, and there's 3 sensors in the large Gemini. So they have made a Gemini adapter plate, which is this top plate, this carbon fiber plate, which is larger on the edges and will fit through the Gemini. But if you try to use this guy in the regular Gemini, he will not work unless he has that adapter plate, which is a larger plate. Okay? Then you asked about, will anything fit in the Gemini? No, because it is such a small opening. This guy is too thick. He's not going to go in there at all. He's way thicker. He's not going to fit. Okay, so that's the biggest difference between these machines is they're designed to work with their counterparts, right? The ToDo machine is its own system. The ToDo machine is a built-in heating system and die cutting system and embossing system all in one. It's a big, giant machine. You guys can go back in my foiling series and see it. Now, Crafter's Companion does not want you using this in your Cuttlebug or your Big Shot machine. Now, I will show you. Width-wise, it does fit. However, height-wise, it's not there. It doesn't have the depth. See the difference between the Go Press and Foil and the Gemini? It doesn't have the depth, the thickness to fit through the machine. The only way you're going to be able to do that is to be able to make a sandwich or shim this. Now, I'm not going to do that. I don't want Crafter's Companion to be angry at me. I do not want to show you guys the wrong way of using your machine. It is designed to work with the Gemini or the Gemini Junior. So, you know, it will go through there, but you have to find the right thickness. And by doing that, you could void your warranty. Even if you do find the right thickness, you could void your warranty and, you know, break your plates or damage your foil press platform. Okay, so it is not recommended. The Gemini is designed, foil press is designed for the Gemini or the Gemini Junior. I hope that answers that question. Yes, Anne-Marie says the ToDo was first, which is correct. Then the Go Press, then the Glimmer, and now the Gemini Foil Press. Absolutely. And I did buy the ToDo, and then I bought the Go Press, and then I got the Gemini sent to me, and I'm not planning on buying the Glimmer. All right, so I want to show now in this example, this guy's been heating up, is I want to use Deco Foil. Because you guys are going to say, why can't I use the foil that I have? I'm going to show you it's not going to work. And why it's not going to work? Science. Science says there's no adhesive in this foil. And since there is no adhesive in this foil, and there is no toner on our paper, Deco Foil, Gina K Foil, Brutus Monroe Foil, Creative Vision Stamps Foil, none of these foils will work in the hot foiling systems. Anne-Marie, we will have that discussion later. I believe so too, Anne-Marie, but I am not allowed to demonstrate that. All right, so our little hot foil stamp is heated up. We're going to put our Deco Foil, not hot foil, regular Deco Foil. So use this in the same category. When I say Deco Foil, I'm talking Gina K Foil, Brutus Monroe Foil, Creative Vision Stamps Foil, Anna Griffin Foil, Heidi Swap Foil. Those are all designed to be used in the Mac machine. Mink machine, not Mac machine. Oh, forgot my shim. Shimmy, shimmy, shake. Shimmy, shimmy, shake. Okay, hold on. We're going to double shim this bad boy. Okay. I'm going to give that a minute for the foil to heat up. In my opinion, it's not going to work. And that's because the Deco Foil does not have any adhesive on the back of it. So there's nothing for it to stick to. The light is now green. I'm going to do our couple passes here. I believe it will leave a very nice embossed image. But I do not think this foil is going to stick. Ta-da! Deco Foil does not have an adhesive, so there's nothing for it to stick to. It needs a toner or an adhesive double stick tape for it to stick to. So the regular foil you already have, I'm sorry guys, will not work in these heat machines. Okay, so that answers that question. What's another question? Let's see if it'll foil on cardstock or on mirror card, right? The Gemini Foil press foils on mirror card, right? Let's see if we can get it to do that. I'm going to use actually the Gemini Foil. Where'd I put it? Stuff everywhere. Hey, Anne-Marie, what everybody wants to do with their machine when they get it home, you know, I tried to do the experiments and I was told not to do that, so I had to knock it off. But if you guys want to see if you can get it to work with your big shot machine with maybe, oh, I don't know, 4 big shot plates under it, you might get it to work. All right, so we have our hot foil die there. We have, we're going to use our Gemini foil on there because it's supposed to work on mirror card, Crafter's Companion. So I have my mirror card there, and we're going to shimmy, shimmy, shim. And again, I'm not responsible for any damage you cause to your machine based on my experiments. I am not demonstrating the Gemini foil press today. I am demonstrating the Go press and foil. I know this foil does not take long to heat up, so I think we're going to be good there. And they do sell replacement plates for the top of this, so if you do overuse your plate and you get, you know, the marks in it and foil on it and die cut marks in it, you can buy a replacement plate. So in terms of use, I think that this machine probably is easier to use. You don't really have to read the instructions. You just have to have your shim and your foiling correct. So I will give it that. And like I said before, I do like the sticky feet. It doesn't move. And you can use your manual machine if you already have one. You don't need to buy a special die cutting machine. Let's see if this worked. I overfoiled it. That Crafter's Companion foil really, I gotta say, it is good foil. Look how quickly that heated up. And down here, it just overfoiled. I can cut that off. No big deal. Can you guys see that gold foil on there? So you can foil mirror card with the Gemini foil. We all already knew that because they demonstrated that on HSN. Can we do it with... Which foil do we want to try? Let's try the Glimmer foil. Dun, dun, dun. I'm sorry, guys. This video is really, really long. But I wanted to try to answer your questions and to do it live. And to show you the differences between the Go Press, the Mink, and answer some questions about the foil press. Alright, so this is Glimmer foil, which is Spellbinders foil, using that same die. Colored side down. We have our cardstock. Again, using good quality Nina Solar White cardstock. And shimmy, shimmy. This is a card Leah made me that I'm using for a shim. Oh, Xavier made me. Shim number 1, shim number 2. Now, because we're using the Spellbinders Glimmer foil, I'm going to give that an extra second to heat up. What else do you guys want to see? Because this is becoming a very long video. I did embossing folders and I did ToDo foil yesterday, so I don't think I'll be doing those today because I did those guys yesterday. All right, once this turns green, we will run it through the machine. Any questions? Bonnie, Anne-Marie? Anne-Marie's doing a great job at answering them all. Thanks, Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie, send me your address. I want to send you a card. Ann Wetzel says, what happened to the 15 minutes rule, right? I don't know. Maybe I'll get a bad email. We're 80 minutes into this thing. I've never done a long live before, so I'll probably get a slap on the wrist. That's why I normally film them and then let you guys fast forward and go through them. Although you can replay and watch this once it's uploaded, which we're almost done here. Okay, so I showed hot foil dies, I showed cutting dies, I showed deco foil, I showed the difference between deco foil and hot foil, I showed the difference between the Mink and the hot foiling machines. I think I answered most of the questions. Okay, so this is using Glimmer hot foil on the hot foil plate. Very nice. And I should have cut off the extra foil. That's my fault for not cutting that off. Okay. So I think that's it, guys. I hope I answered all of your questions as to the difference between a Mink machine and a hot foiling system, because that was really my demonstration purposes here today. I wasn't trying to really show what I don't know how to use on the Go Press and Foil. There is a beautiful video, Scrapbook Made Simple, episode number 201, in which she demonstrates all the things that this Go Press and Foil machine can do. I just wanted to show you really the difference between this and the Mink, and what the Mink can do that this can't do, and what this can do that the Mink can't do. So hopefully that answers that for you. Again, deco foil will not work in the hot foiling machines. You have to use specific hot foil. You can use any of your dies or hot foil stamps. And there you can see the different qualities with using the different foils and the different things we have foiled today. I'm going to cut these down and I'm going to use them inside my Christmas cards. And as I showed in the beginning of the video, all of the cards that I have made. All right, guys. I think if you have any questions and you didn't catch this video live and you're watching the replay, post your comments or questions down below. I always try to answer you guys or make a video on that. Yeah, Scrapbook Made Simple has the foils, the hot foils for $2 and something a roll. I think it's less than $3 a roll. Just remember those foils take a little longer. If you have the Gemini foil press coming with the Gemini Foil Press foil, those foils take very little time and work on a low setting. So you want to work quicker with those foils, a little slower with these other guys' foils. And again, that's Glimmer Foil, Couture Creations Foil, ToDo Foil, Glimmer Foil, Spellbinders Foil. Those are all hot foiling systems that you can get foil for. ToDo Foil will not work. I'm sorry. Mink foil, deco foil will not work in this machine, but in a pinch, this hot foil will work on the other machine. So there was a plus there that I think we all picked up today. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, I appreciate if you would scroll up and give it a thumbs up. Any comments or questions, post them down below. We are super close. I think 200 and some subscribers away from a 5,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm very anxious to do that. But as always, thanks for watching. I truly appreciate you guys and all the questions you've been asking me. Thanks for watching and keep on stamping. Bye, guys. I don't know how to shut it off.